my name is Lucy and today I'm going to talk about the stereotypes in the Hollywood action movies. So what is a stereotype?
Stereotype. A stereotype is a conventional, formulaic, and oversimplified opinion or image used to discriminate and oppress.
Some common stereotypes in Asians are first, Asians are smart or a nerd. And second, Asians are good at using technology. Obviously, I don't think I fall in that particular group because I'm neither good at studying nor using a technology. Back to the main idea, there are many stereotypes that we don't realize while we watch the Hollywood action movies. Hollywood movies rarely have an Asian character who is actually nice, generous, and calm as protagonist. However, what we look at the movie is a villainous Asian characters killing a lot of people with armed forces such as guns, knives, and any harmful devices. So let's look at some clips that will demonstrate these stereotypes. The first clip shows that Asians are evil and villainous. When we look at the first few minutes of the movie Lucy, the very first scene of the movie is a man giving Lucy a bag to deliver.
Lucy.
He shot it. What's in it?
Don't get paranoid on me, alright? You trust me, don't you?
And have you realized where it was? Yes, it is located in Taiwan, which is in Asia. Why is the Asian countries victimized? By looking at the clip, it is clearly showing that Asian countries are the place of crimes, the place for syndicate and criminals. Why is the Asia only place for a crime scene? The movie implies that the Asians are cruel and the origin of the criminal actions. The reason is that humans are influenced by the current hostilities between Asian countries and due to the historical effects. First, for a long time, a lot of Western countries have been in conflict with a lot of Asian countries. These long hostilities have been built up to a stereotype among normal people, since people are unconsciously and constantly influenced by the mass media, such as news, articles, and journals. The long conflict made people to think that Asian countries are brutal who does not want the international peace, and always the first to attack the peaceful nations. Since we're exposed to those media, it is common to think that Asians are mean and evil, and it is clearly expressed throughout the movie. Also, the history have created the Asians as an evil one. America has long been a dreamland for a lot of people around the world, and it still is. However, as more and more Asian immigrants arrive in the United States for a better future, people who's already settled fear them. The reason is that the increased number of immigrants make them feel the loss of opportunities, such as job openings. So this creates a stereotypical view that Asians are threatening and fearful group who takes away the opportunities. Also, throughout this clip, the movie connects the Asians with the syndicate or the rings of crime by dehumanizing them. In this clip, the director actually dehumanized the old man by showing his appearance, which is covered with blood, trying to show that he does not act like a human. This not only dehumanize, but also depict the old Asian man as an animal who neither has feeling nor intimacy. By illustrating Asian as an animal, it not only devalues the human, but portrays the Western supremacy, that Asians are always lower than the Western people, which is part of the classism, the social class bias. Western supremacy has long been existed in the society. It is a stereotypical view that Asian people are lower than the Western people. The reason is that when Asians first immigrated to Western countries, they worked in the lower class. They even worked for the Western people, such as servants, housekeepers, and even the babysitters. Since it was a part of the culture back then, the view that Asians are lower than the Western people became part of the norm, because it was true. And the dehumanization of the old Asian man demonstrates the classism that Asians are placed lower than Western people. The common stereotypes about Asian is that Asians, regardless how strong they are, they're not always the strongest in the movie, and the strongest one is the Western people. Thus, if their character is antagonistic, then they're always beaten and defeated by the Western protagonist at the end. This type of stereotype is actually demonstrated in the movie G.I.Joe from 2009. The clip implies the supremacy and the dominance of power over Asian. At the beginning of the clip, it is relevant that the young Storm Shadow is stronger than Snake Eye. However, as the time passes, the movie shows that the Snake Eye overcomes the Storm Shadow. Why does one need to overcome someone to become the strongest? The clip not only shows that the Asian characters are weak, but also shows that the Western characters always dominate the power. The supremacy among Western people made the movie reflect that the Asians are weak. By looking at the long history, Western people always have had the dominant power, and Asians always were the lowest working class who served for the Western people. Also in the current society, those supremacies still exist as a stereotype. It became normal that the poor immigrants from Asia worked for the rich Western people, and this tradition is reflected through the stereotype. Also similar to the movie Lucy, another stereotype that is relevant in this movie is that Asians are the cause of the conflict.
뭐 훔치고 있었어요.
English Storm Shadow, where are your manners? He's hungry.
When we see the clip, it is relevant when the young boy came in to smuggle, the young Storm Shadow attacked the young Snake Eye. Who do you think is the cause of fight? According to the master, it is the young Storm Shadow's fault to start the violence. However, why not the young Snake Eye? The only reason that Storm Shadow attacked the Snake Eye is because he tried to smuggle food from the kitchen. Is capturing a thief wrong thing? I'm not trying to say that all the actions that Storm Shadow have done is correct. However, isn't stealing morally wrong? If the stealing is a morally wrong action, why is Snake Eye free from blame? The clip proves that everything that Western protagonist does is justified and can be forgiven. However, not for any others. In this case, everything that Storm Shadow does cannot be vindicated. Stereotypes build up the false point of view and generalize a certain group. This is really harmful to a specific group because not all Asians are criminals. For example, Asians wearing a black suit does not mean they're criminals, and Asians holding a weapon and having a weapon does not mean they're gonna kill you right away. Therefore, since stereotypes can shape one's viewpoint incorrectly through generalization, it should not be used in the media. To continue, have you ever realized that the movie contains stereotypes? Every stereotype is unexpected and it comes from our unconsciousness. Also, the audiences of the movie unconsciously absorb the stereotypes that is implied in the movie. Yet to avoid and exclude stereotypes completely in the media is impossible. However, we could prevent any stereotypical views by varying the Asian characters. How about increasing the number of Asian characters as a protagonist or generous people, who are not evil but beneficial towards the main character or the protagonist? We can still depict the Asian character as evil, but increasing the number of nice and kind Asian characters will broaden the Asian characteristics, which will prevent and decrease the number of use of any negative Asian stereotypes.
Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.